what makes research good? How you can say that your research is good? So you have the validity, you have the reliability in your research, you have the replicability, consistency, application, analysis, truthworthiness, and rigor. So these are the people. Once you submit your paper, then people are going to see all such things in your paper. So validity in research work. So what do you think about the validity of research work? Just like if you say that okay, somebody may comes to me and says that okay, yes, this is the new way of sorting the data. Somebody may say that okay, I have some new way of sorting the data. So you have come with the algorithm, and that algorithm can be used for sorting purpose. And we know that there are number of other algorithms available for sorting the data. If you have 10 numbers or 20 numbers, and somebody may ask you that okay, arrange these numbers in some increasing order or decreasing order, then we have the number of methods, several methods for sorting purpose. Okay, and somebody comes to me and says that okay, this is my method for sorting the data. So okay, yes, this may be the new method of sorting the data, but what is the validity? How you can validate your method? This is important. So before you can say that okay, this is my method for solving this problem. This is my method for feature selection. This is my novel method for the classification. So, but this is the novel method, okay, but how you can validate your method? How you can validate? So validation is very important. You have written the algorithm, and how you can validate the algorithm. So validation means your algorithm should terminate in all possible legal inputs, and it should give the correct answer. Then this is the validity. So once you have designed the algorithm, say you have designed the algorithm for sorting purpose, and you have to prove that this algorithm, whatever I have designed for the sorting purpose, whatever input you can give, and it will give the output. If you are expecting its increasing order, it will give the increasing order. If you are expecting the decreasing order, it will be the decreasing order. It should not happen that for some particular data it's working, and for some other data it is not working. So whatever legal input you can provide, in your algorithm should terminate by providing the correct results for every possible legal input. Then this is the validity you need to prove first. So whenever you say that okay, this is my method, this is my new scheme, this is my proposed scheme, people will ask for the validation, justification, how you can prove that your method is validate. How you can validate your method means you have to prove for its correctness. And sometimes in some kind of situation, your method may take infinite possible input, and for some input it may take infinite time. So how can you prove that? How can we prove the validity, because you don't know the answer of that particular input? Okay, so very soon your algorithm may go to the infinite loop, and if it goes to the infinite loop, and if it is busy with the computation, and it is not going to give any kind of response, then how can you prove that for this input your algorithm will terminate by giving the right answer? So question is, this is not a simple question. Proving the validity is not a simple question. It's a very difficult task. Most of the cases you need to prove the theorems. You need to write the theorem, and you can use several techniques like mathematical induction to prove that okay, yes, if your method is working for this input, your method is also working for some other inputs or possible inputs. So validity in the research work is very important. You just not say that okay, this is the method for solving this problem. People will first ask that okay, first validate that your method will terminate for all possible legal inputs while giving the correct output. So this is important. So reliability in the research work. So this says the consistency of the measurement or degree to which an instrument measures the same way each time it is used under the same condition with the same subject. Okay, this is the very important things. Means it is the repeatability, and this is the very 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 important things. If you have done the research work, and your research work is published, And later on, if people wants to prove that, okay, whatever research work you have done, whether whatever conditions you have provided, every situation, whatever conditions of that algorithm or that particular method you have given, for all with the all such conditions, same conditions, whether if somebody gives the same input, whether he or she is able to get the same answer or not. This is the case of repeatability. And this, if it is not the case, then there is a doubt in the research work. So you must have in the research work, you must have the reliability in the research work. Means in the same condition, if somebody asks, if somebody wants to prove, then he should get the same answer you have obtained. So you cannot follow. This is the case. That's why this is the reliability, which says that you cannot make the false, or you just imagine. You cannot just imagine the output of your experiment. This is the falsification. Means if somebody takes the same kind of conditions and he is conducting the experiment, then his or she is not going to get the same output, same table somebody has provided, researchers have provided. So this is, if this is not the case, then this is the serious crime actually. And means in the research work, this is the very very important work. If you have if you have done your research work, then with the same circumstances, people should be able to prove that, okay, yes, for this situation, for this kind of input, this algorithm provides this output. If it is not, then there is a question mark, and there somebody may raise the question that of the validity, and somebody may ask the editor to withdraw the paper from their journals. And many papers after publication also, many papers are retracted. Retracted means it will be written retracted. It means that, okay, this paper has produces the false results, and no one should use this paper. No one should study this paper, and hence in every page of that paper you will find the word retracted. Means this is the falsification is there. So that's why reliability is very important in your research work. Okay. So validity and reliability, you can say the two things are very important. The relationship between the reliability and validity is a fairly simple one to understand. A measurement can be reliable, okay, but not valid. Means with the same conditions you may get the same answer, but it may not be valid. Means it may not produce the correct answer for every possible legal input. So however, a measurement must first be reliable. So this is the condition that first you need to provide your method, measurement, experiment, or your methodologies, whatever scheme you are going to use, it must be first reliable before it can be valid. So first you have to see that, okay, if somebody wants to prove whether he or she will get the same result or not, then you can worry about the validity. Now you can prove that for every possible input, your scheme, your method gives the correct answer. So that's why the reliability is a necessary thing, but not sufficient condition of validity. In other words, a measurement may consistent assess a phenomena, but unless that measurement tests what you want it to, it is not a valid. So validity and reliability, two things are very important, and throughout you have to adopt in your research work. Every time you are coming with some new scheme, or every time you are developing some new strategy, new algorithm, then try to first, you must confirm that whatever results you are going to uh, you are going to produce, you are going to publish, you must be sure that if somebody wants to verify your results, then he or she will be able to verify the results whatever you have produced. Means reliability must be there, and you also need to prove that, okay, your method is working correctly. So regarding the research work, validity and reliability is conducting the research. So rigor means you are going to go for the rigorous study for your research work, very careful study. So research work is not a casual study, it is very rigorous study, it is very systematic and formal study, and you have to do very careful for everything. That's why validity and reliability in your research must be there. Adequate presentation of findings, consistency, trustworthiness must be there. Adequate presentation of findings. So it must be the consistent. So whatever inputs you are going to supply and you have the output, you should prove that okay, there is a your output is consistent with the given inputs. So appropriate representation of study for a particular field discipline. Appropriate representation of study means whenever you are going to go for some kind of research, then you have to analyze your methodology actually. So once you are going to uh, use your methodology, then you have to analyze the methods you are going to use, and this is the appropriate representation of study for a particular field. Means and disciplinary rigor. Means this is the rigor once you have conducted this literature survey depthly, once you have identified the research gap and the methods you have used, you have given the proper justification of that method, why you are going to use that particular method. You can justify because of this reason, because of my data is like this and my research question is like this, and hence I'm going to use this kind of method. So if you are doing the research work, and if your research work have you have the validated your research work, if your research work is reliable, and it is consistent with the given with the input, and you have systematically you have conducted the research, you have done the brainstorming sessions, you have made the expert, you have made the group of the person, and after contacting various groups, focused group, and you have come up with your conclusions. And if you have present this kind of information for assessment, for the reviewing purpose, then people will see that okay, yes, this may be published or this may not be published. So if you have the rigor in your research work, if you are doing the careful everything, if you are doing the careful research methods or techniques, whatever you are going to do, eh, literature survey, then if this must be needed in the research work, then actually you will be able to increase the body of knowledge. Then it may be the chance that okay, yes, refereed, your reviewer may accept your paper, and then your paper, once it is accepted, then it will publish in some high quality journals. And once this published in high quality journal means you it is this new information now, because you have verified the fact, and this verified fact is now added to the body of knowledge. So see, for adding to the body of knowledge, actually the main purpose of research is to add something into the body of knowledge. And whatever you are going to add in the body of knowledge, it means that thing is verified, and that thing is studied carefully for finding the facts, and some people will know that okay, this is happening on behalf of this kind of data or this kind of circumstance. So body of knowledge is going to increase. So it is very important that your methodology must be sound. You must be clear about the research area, means area your area of interest. Then you have the narrow down, and you have come up with the deterministically you come up with the research objectives, and you have the research objectives, and according to the research objectives, you have the knowledge of the research methodology, you know that you have studied, and you which kind of research designs you are going to use, which kind of data you are going to use, and you should be clear about each and everything. So this is the methodology actually. So once you are going to write the proposals, actually research proposal, then you have to write the research methodology. And if it is clear, people will see that whether your research methodology is clear or not. It should be very clear in such a way that once you have presented your research proposal, then somebody else may conduct the research, and you are conducting the research, and somebody else is also going to conduct the research, and both will find the same answer. Means you, if your research objective is clear, it is deterministic, it is not having any kind of ambiguity, then if you are doing the research work and somebody also doing the research work with the same objective, and they will find the same answer. So if in the same circumstances you are using your research objective, and then it should be clear, and if somebody two different persons are going to conduct in the same objectives, if objectives is clear, then both will achieve the same goal. Research objective must be very clear.